My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Hey, welcome. Happy Wednesday morning, happy South Lake morning, man. I love this time of year. The weather is literally perfect. Absolutely, literally, it's perfect sleeping weather, perfect getting up weather, perfect driving to work weather. Today, when I get out of here, I'm going to go to my appointment. I got some customers in from out of town. Great folks. Had a great time showing them houses yesterday. We're going to show them some houses today. I'm going to have the windows down. We're going to be cruising. Like, I only wish I had it's this time of year I wish I had a convertible. You know, that's I don't know, the hot weather I'd never ride with it down because I'm too much of a wimp these days. But this time of year, I'd be top down all day long with my convertible. But I don't have one, so I'm just going to have to keep myself happy with the windows rolled down. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about being puzzlingly puzzled. We are going to talk about the Shirley Temple King. We are going to talk about On Cup of Joe. We are going to continue our series on making your dreams happen. This week we are covering the work part, how to engage in action over time. And today what we're going to cover is being detached and consistent. So don't go away. And finally, our guest today is Ryan Pikunis. I am actually really psyched for this interview today. Ryan is an absolutely amazing guy. He owns a company called Rapid Response Delivery and Courier Service. He has kind of a unique niche, but he also does an awful lot of work with the American Red Cross. We're going to talk a little bit about both of those. He's an absolutely amazing guy. He's been a friend of mine for a little while now, so I'm really looking forward to having him on today. We're going to hear from our sponsors, and when we get back... Oh, do I make that announcement now, Jay? Or
sure.
Wait.
Sure.
We are very proud to announce that Crawford, Modica, and Holt, local law firm... Modica. I'm from the north. Give me a break. Crawford, Modica, and Holt is come on board the South Lake family, the South Lake TV family, as a sponsor for our local government programming. We actually covered a meeting last night, a zoning and planning meeting over
city council
meeting. Almost 2,000 views while we covered that. Look, if you're not catching your news, if you're not catching your happenings here all the time, then you're missing the boat. If you're not branding your business here, Crawford, Modica, and Holt have figured it out. They're going to brand their business here because this is where their customers are. This is where their customers want to work and play. So, end of the shameless plug. I'm just very happy to have Crawford, Modica, and Holt on board. Maybe we're going to be able to get them on the show to talk about some of what's going on in the development of the area, which will be an absolutely fascinating show. I'm really looking forward to that. Like I said, we're going to hear from our sponsors, and when we get back, we're going to get started. See you in a minute.
Your CBD store Claremont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Claremont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Claremont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
Hello, my name is Michael Singh with Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Our goal is to build trust based on a clear understanding of how your insurance policy protects you, your family, and even your business. When was the last time you took a good hard look at your insurance coverage? Would you be open to the possibility of reviewing your policy with me? One review of your policy can save you valuable time and money. Call me today to set up a review of what may be available to you.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the mortgage firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Welcome back, man. I always love hearing from my sponsors, especially the guys, all these guys who just came on early. Mary, Michael Singh, the CBD store, all these guys came in the early part of the process. And as much as I will always love the sponsors that make this happen, these guys are going to hold a special place in my heart for as long as I do this, which will be many, many years to come. As a matter of fact, those people will hold a special place in my heart long after I have finished doing this, and I'm sitting in the retirement home going, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" My kids not to make any jokes or comments on the live feed. All right, let's get started. Puzzlingly puzzled. Today is National Puzzle Day. I don't know if anybody, I have great memories of puzzles. When my wife and I were first married, this is one of the things we loved to do when we had no money. Literally didn't have a pot to pee in. We could get a puzzle real cheap. There was actually a library. Back in those days, libraries would lend out things like puzzles. And of course, that was before DVDs and videos, and you used to go to get books and a few other things. But National Puzzle Day, actually, I see some great graphics on National Puzzle Day. Now, while we may think of Puzzle Day as the little pieces that fit together, there are other kinds of puzzles as well. You could do Sudoku, crossword. As a matter of fact, if you do crossword or jumbles, that's a great way. Puzzles actually have scientifically been proven to improve your brain. They actually use puzzles to help dementia patients with long-term memory, with acuity retention. It's all sorts of things. And there's different kind of puzzles. You could do Sudoku, will help you with numbers and memory. A standard puzzle, 1,000 pieces, helps you with spatial distortion and actually literally strengthens your brain because you very few tasks allow you to use both sides of your brain at the same time. And the other beauty of something like a table puzzle that you fit together, it's a great social interaction, even if you're just sitting there quietly looking at it. And that was one of the things my wife and I used to do, is bring those puzzles out. Okay, so it's National Puzzle Day. Go find a puzzle. Set up a date to build a puzzle with your sweetie. You won't regret it. Quiet time, not in front of the screen. Speaking of screens, look, there's a lot of news out today. I talked yesterday about a very sad event and some perspective I got. You click on the TV today, everywhere is Kobe Bryant and the 7 people that passed with him. It's the new, you get the election and you get the impeachment trial and you get, whatever some idiot did somewhere, and some for the fires out in Australia. Today I thought we'd do something a little different. My wife turned me on to this. This is the Shirley Temple King. This kid actually has his own Instagram page. And what he does is, his parents open this up for him. What he does is he, in his local area, rates Shirley Temples. Can you play one of those for us, Jay?
Hey guys, it's the Shirley Temple King. And I'm at Plan B. I'm going to try the Shirley Temple. Got 3 things. 1, it's like a blizzard outside. 3, I'm at 2, I lost my tooth. And 3, I'm going to show you a cool little life hack. So you go like this. No hands. That's something crazy. But the thing itself, it's kind of like 5.2, because it kind of looks like grape juice and like a cranberry thing. So, and it has no cherries. So, oh, it actually does. What is it? Hey guys, it's a Shirley Temple.
Okay, you can't go wrong, little kids. Good job to the parents. This has gone viral. I can't say enough about this. This guy is cool. I love it. He rates these Shirley Temples on a scale of 1 to 10, and it looks like I could learn some things about talking on talking on a clip from this kid. Finally, we're Cup of Joe today. We are going to continue our conversation about making your dreams happen. Yesterday, I talked about being consistent and picking a process. You know, if you decide what you have, once you've started to build a faith, you have to engage. You have to, at some point, you got to get down and do it. You have to predetermine what your process is. If your process to lose weight is get to the gym every day, or go for a 2-hour walk every day, or your fitness goals say you're going to restrict your calories to a certain thing, or you're going to give up mayonnaise every day, you have to track it. So we talked about this. Don't miss 2 days. Predetermine your process and don't miss 2 days in a row. Today, I want to talk about a subject that a lot of people have a hard time with, but it's very, very simple. You need to emotionally detach from the results. So often we give up on our dreams, goals, and the actions that'll take us there because we're not getting the results we imagine that we should. And the truth is, we're getting results. We just may have underestimated the amount of time it takes to get to the result that we want. If you engage in your process each and every day without being emotionally attached to the results, then you can't go wrong. Because if you're not emotionally attached to the results, you don't get upset when that extra pound doesn't come off the scale. And you don't get upset when that client didn't work out. You just engage in the process. It's about the process. It's not about the result. The final thing that goes with that is time blocking. If you really want to engage in your process on a daily basis and never miss 2 days in a row, you need to put that as a recurring appointment in your schedule. I recommend every single day. Maybe take 1 day off a week on purpose if it's work related, but some things shouldn't be taken a day. You shouldn't be taking a Sunday off if you're trying to get healthy. If you're trying to get healthy for at least the first 90, 120 days, you should do it every single day. It's easier to time block. How do you time block not having mayonnaise? I'll tell you how you do. You time block an appointment with yourself at the end of the day to check in with yourself and say, did I do this or did I not? Check yourself. Time block and detach emotionally from the results, and you will find yourself accomplishing your process for longer and longer periods of time. And again, over the course of time, you will see all your dreams come true. All right, that's enough for the Cup of Joe. If you want to talk about any of this stuff, reach out to me. I'm more than willing to talk about it with you. Have a cup of coffee. If you completely disagree with me, you can put a comment up on our pages. We will fill in. I'll try to respond to you, but I could also have a cup of coffee with you. We're going to hear from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to hear from my friend, Ryan Pikunis. I'm always messing up people's names, but this time I got it right. Ryan Pikunis with Rapid Response Delivery Services and Rapid Response. That's right. I'll just read it. Rapid Response Courier and Delivery Service. Thanks for bringing that up, Jay. And he also works with the Red Cross, and he's got some fascinating stuff. We're going to talk about that too. So I will see you in a minute. Don't go away. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Burgerum, located in the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Burgerum offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Burgerum has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Burgerum, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Who wants to host their own tea party? I'm Erica, owner of Erica's Tea Room in downtown Claremont, and we are happy to announce our new edition of mobile tea parties. What is a mobile tea party, you may ask? Well, it's a tea party that we do all the work and bring everything to you at your location. Your house, your office, your location. You tell us where and we'll show up and we do the work. You enjoy your day while we set everything up and make sure your party is running smoothly. Keep us in mind for your next mobile tea party.
They are dependable, honest.
Every time I come over here, I've always feel like they go the extra mile for me.
The quality of not only the product they're providing, but them believing behind it.
I just trust them, you know, they're a great company, great dealership.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. As I promised, I am here with my dear friend Ryan Pikunis. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I actually want to thank you for scheduling on short notice too, because coming out of the holidays, it was harder to get people long term, and you just stepped right into the gap, and I really, really appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you.
Now, you know, many times I tap my friends through the chamber, through business leaders, some other organization, and then I find out that their story is far more fascinating than I understood. So Ryan is one of those guys. He's a very humble dude, and you know, like most of my humble guests, I don't find out the best part of who they are until we get into the pre-interview. I'm thinking I should just start having pre-interviews with people without an interview scheduled. Maybe I'll learn more about them, right? Let me give you Ryan's bona fides, okay? Ryan is the owner and founder of Rapid Response Courier and Delivery Service. He is chairman of the board of directors for the Mid-Florida Red Cross. He is the disaster... Wow, my mouth is just not working today. The Disaster Action Team Coordinator. He is a co-chair of the South Lake Business Leaders, and he is a member of the South Lake Chamber of Commerce. Very busy guy, very active dude. You know, you do a lot for the community through all of these organizations. How did you get here, man? Tell us. I mean, what brought you to this? Because you didn't start. I mean, you're not like 20 years in this industry.
No. So we moved here in 2005 from New Jersey. Grew up there in South Jersey. Went through the fire academy, very young age. Worked my way up through captain. Just very passionate about volunteering in the community, helping folks out.
How long did it take you to work up to captain?
About 3 years.
See, that doesn't surprise me at all.
So, yeah, we were a very busy department in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. So it was awesome, but it was something that my parents really handed down to me, just to be involved and be committed to helping those in our community. So
and you were a volunteer then,
too,
weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been volunteering since the age of 16.
So you're a fire guy. You come here. What did you do when you came here?
So I worked my way into the banking industry. I was doing a little bit of that up north as well. And I spent about 13 years at a large bank here as a branch manager. You know, uncovered some needs of one of my clients that ended up in a local assisted living facility. And while visiting him, he had no local family that was here to really, you know, check on him. And he would call me every day and, you know, just make sure he was doing okay. So I started paying visits to him, and I uncovered a need.
An older fella?
Older fella, yeah. Not doing so well in his health at that point. And I saw the struggles he was going through on an everyday basis, just being able to, you know, mobility, being able to go out to the store. You know, he couldn't do that. He never had any food in his place. They fed him great, but, you know, he never had anything, no fruit, no water, no snacks. You know, who doesn't get hungry, you know, at 2 a.m. once in a while? So I uncovered this need.
You know, it's funny, you don't think about that. I mean, your assumption is if they're in assisted living, they have everything they want.
Right.
It's not necessarily true. They have their needs met.
Correct.
You know.
So I saw the struggles. He would ask me here and there, hey, would you mind picking this up for me if you're out? I said, sure. You know, and a couple of his friends started asking me to do the same thing. So it kind of hit me. You know, I was always looking for solutions for other folks. And I found this one for him, and I decided to kind of expand on it and start my own company doing that.
So did you leave the bank and start, or did
Yes.
you like kind of start the business and work out of the bank?
I decided to jump right into it. I left the bank and jumped right into the business and kicked it off, and we've been running ever since.
That's always the best way.
Yeah.
I see this in real estate where people tell me they hate their job and they want to become a realtor, and I always encourage them. One, you're not going to make any money. Mm-hmm. Two, the job that's giving you the paycheck is going to take priority.
Yeah.
And three, if you don't need to make the money in real estate, you're probably not going to do all the hard things. There's no such thing as a part-time realtor anymore. It's just,
I believe that.
But it's like a businessman. It's very hard to do a real business part-time, and so jump in. You learn the lessons faster too.
We did.
Don't you?
We did.
Right?
So
how many days did you have with your wife where you said, "Oh my God, what did we do?" I know you had some of them.
Yeah, there was a few of those days, but you just keep pushing forward and trying to get the word out. Whether it be with networking, just getting the word out about what we do and how we're really able to help.
So, what
the
was your
community.
service when you first started?
So it was really more of the deliveries, delivering groceries. We deliver pharmacy items, pretty much anything that folks might need delivered to them. I have a client where we deliver 20 bags of mulch. No one really does that.
Yeah.
But she's stuck inside in the house with her husband who's not doing so hot. So she likes the independence of being at home, but she also wants to work out in her yard. She's afraid to leave him at home for too long to go out to the grocery store. So that's kind of where I started it. We layered in the courier service where we assist local businesses here throughout Lake, Sumter, and Orange counties to where they, we an affordable, delivery service. If they document small packages, whatever it might be that they need.
Do you know what's funny? I never thought of that, but my dad has Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And he has come to the place where my mom can't leave him alone.
Yes.
Last year he started a fire by accident, and not because he was doing anything crazy, but he just doesn't pay attention,
Right. And that's a big concern of a lot of my clients where they're afraid to leave.
They can't leave their spouse, alone. Yeah.
And we make these deliveries for a very affordable flat rate. There's never any hidden fees. We never upcharge on any of the purchases that we make for them. They get the receipt. It's all about being transparent. It's all about
every delivery. We actually have your website up here, and I'm sure there's. Jay, would you click on services there, right in the middle? Lead us through some of these. Obviously, you started with the delivery service. What do you do now?
So we do that. Errands is a big part of what we do for folks that are in retirement communities and assisted living facilities, where it could be anything. They need, they want some packages shipped over to their family out of state. They can't make it to the post office to do that. So we'll go pick it up. We'll drop it off for them. Again, just trying to make things seamless for them in their lives and live in a nice, comfortable life.
So you do deliveries, you do errands, and you do courier service now too, right?
Correct.
So give us an idea of some of how that works. What kind of courier service?
So we do stuff. We actually have some realtors that we'll run documents back and forth. Title companies, attorneys. We had a product where they were doing some samples. They needed tested. We had to run it over to a lab for them. It was last minute. We are available to get that done for them. So it's pretty much anything businesses might need that needs to be moved. We can do it for them.
Now I notice your website says immediate service,
Yeah.
right? Call for immediate service. When you say immediate service, are you talking like within 24 hours? Are you talking like what do you mean by immediate?
We try to leave a couple hours throughout the day available in case things do come up. So you need a package delivered up to the courthouse in Tavares. We're gonna leave a couple hours to make sure we can meet that need for you.
Oh, that's cool.
A lot of times.
And how do you determine your rates? I know you said you have a flat rate.
Yep.
Is there a flat rate for everything, or does it depend on the service I'm asking for?
It really depends on where we're going. For the groceries within our Claremont, South Lake area, it's just a flat rate fee, which we charge.
So it depends on how far. If I need something to go up to Mount Dora,
it might be a little bit.
It's going to be a little bit more than
Correct.
if I needed to go a mile down the road.
Yeah, but here in Claremont, Mineola, where rates are starting as low as $10 for delivery. So it's very affordable. We save more passing the savings on after we do a shopping order. We always highlight how much we actually save to them. That actually goes back to the customer, not in my
your pocket.
Right?
It's you laugh. My wife and I were talking about that just this morning. Our biggest frustration with the delivery from Walmart is their well, the cheap thing that we wanted, the brand, the generic brand that we wanted wasn't in stock, so we end up with the most expensive brand of that item. And it might only be $3 or $4, but $3 or $4 over 10 items over a month ends up being a lot of money. Hey, look, one of the things I want to talk to you about was the Red Cross. We are going to hear from our sponsors. When we get back, Ryan is a serial volunteer. Okay, he has a hard time not giving back into his community, and you could tell from his introduction, he does volunteer in a lot of areas. None of the stuff I mentioned beyond his business he gets paid for, which I think is absolutely fascinating. So when we get back, we're going to talk about some of that volunteer stuff, specifically the Red Cross. Don't go away. You want to hear this. See you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
West, now pre-leasing 28,900 square feet of commercial, professional office space in Claremont. Conveniently located on Highway 50, less than 2 miles from the Turnpike. A first of its kind in the Southeast, this pristine building creates the perfect blend of nature and modern design. If you seek a high-level image that matches your business, reserve your space today. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. Or visit lease@50west.com.
Check out these gourmet deals from Bergeron Claremont, like our daily deals. Milkshake specials. Kids eat free. That's right, kids 10 and under eat free every Monday with purchase of an adult combo. Choose from delicious protein combos like beef, chicken, lamb, fish, veggie, and even the Impossible Burger. Milkshakes are buy one get one free Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. Stop into Bergeron Claremont today to take advantage of our daily deals, like the Monday Crispy Chicken Combo, the Tuesday Falafel Combo, the Wednesday Angus Beef Combo, and the Thursday Spanish Beef Combo. Gourmet deals from Bergeron Claremont, located just off Highway 27 and the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza. Bergeron, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. We are still joined by Ryan. I'm sorry. I was telling him a story about our guest, James Argentino. Told you I was going to mess up his name. Didn't I?
James Argento.
Argento. I'm still messing up James's name. Sorry, James. Please forgive me. I knew I'd mess up somebody's name today. We're still joined by Ryan, the founder and owner of Rapid Response Courier and Delivery Services. Did I get that backwards?
You got it.
I got it. Okay. I did want to ask you, because you're scheduling service. Do you have other people helping you do the running, or are you doing all the deliveries?
I do primarily most of it. If we get too backed up, I do have some folks that we can call in. But
does it allow you to get a little more flexible with your time?
It does.
I mean, so you set your schedule much like I do?
I do, yeah. And, it really gives me the flexibility to go out and take care of the clients that, have grown to trust me and our deliveries that we do.
Well, that flexibility is why I asked the question, because you are the disaster. I'm going to read this right again. The disaster action team coordinator, and that means you were telling me earlier you're on call 24 hours.
Yep. So here in Lake and Sumter, I'm on call 24 hours. Where if any fires, any emergencies that come into where we're going to be called in, I receive the call from our national dispatch in Philadelphia, and I'm the one who makes sure that the teams get out onto the scene to help the folks out, whether it be a house fire, a tornado, which we had recently come through, up in Leesburg. So within an hour, we're on scene, being able to provide immediate assistance.
When you say teams, how many people are you coordinating out there?
So Mid-Florida, what I'm overseeing currently, consists of 6 counties. So it's quite a few that we have. So Mid-Florida, we probably have about 300 volunteers. And that encompasses all factors. So it's the disaster response team, it's our nurses that we have on board that can help facilitate, getting medications replaced if they're lost in a house fire, mental health folks. I mean, we basically bring an entire portfolio to the table to really help these folks, recoup after a major disaster. So,
So I'm sure a team for a single house fire, which is hopefully a limited tragedy, right, for one family, as opposed to a tornado comes through a community, you're probably sending out a larger team because you're dealing with a lot of people there, correct?
That's right, yep. So a house fire, typically we have at least 2 people go out, whether it's 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, we have crews on, and we're typically on scene within the hour. A lot of times we arrive while the fire department's still there on scene. So.
I think a lot of people don't understand what you do, too, because I know that, there's an assumption that, Red Cross helps me find a house tonight. Mm-hmm. But you do so much more. And let's just use the house fire as an example. Yeah. There's a whole list of things that you do for a family affected by that.
Correct. So there's, like I said, spiritual care to help them. I mean, it could be a very emotional time for some folks, right? A lot of people struggle with everyday life, and, something as significant as a house fire can just really, put them over the edge. And we have folks that are on call that can, talk them through it. When we go out, we are able to provide immediate financial assistance to them, so they're not on the street. They're able to go get lodging, food, clothing, whatever it might be. And that's, something that we provide.
How long does that last usually?
The interaction with us?
No, yes, the interaction. Yeah. But how long does the service last? If you're going to put somebody in a house for a house fire, that's, you can't just do tonight because they got the same problem tomorrow night.
Right.
How long do you give them? So
we work through them. It's not a fixed time. I mean, it depends. A lot of times folks have insurance, which we hope that they do, which will help cover them, right? So we're here to help them get over this initial kind of hiccup in life. And
I think that's a great point to make, is that you aren't asking if somebody had insurance. It's not, it's not, and a lot of people thankfully have insurance. They're only going to need help for a shorter period of time until they can get their claim in and get adjusted. But there are other people that don't, and you don't care. You're there to help.
We help anyone.
So how long is the interaction itself at the fire?
It's usually about 30 minutes. It could be less depending on how many folks we have. We do interview briefly, every party that's been involved in the fire. So
assessing their needs and
exactly.
that sort of thing.
Is there any medication loss, glasses, documentation? We have folks that will help facilitate if they lost their license on how to do that. It's just, it can be such a tragic event that occurred in their life where I don't know where to start.
People don't. I never thought about this until I met somebody. Like, actually, my son did some volunteer work for one of those teams some years ago when he was in college in the local area. And, it never occurred to me until he'd come home and tell me, well, they had a fire, Dad. They were forced out of their house in their pajamas. Yeah. And for some people, that's like a pair of shorts and a T-shirt that they threw on. So you're not just getting them housing. You have to get them the kids got to go to school at some point. You got to get them some clothing. Maybe they don't have any shoes. Everything could have been consumed. Yeah. He told me that you guys even help them, guide them into replacing important documents they may have lost.
Correct. We do.
So how does the team and the response differ? You know, that's 2 people to help one family of, let's say, 5 people. You know, you have something like the tornado that went through up in Leesburg.
Yep.
That's an entirely different team. How is the difference there?
So we have a lot more folks. You know, there's a wide array of training that we take on how to assess different situations. You know, if it's something significant, we'll open up a shelter to where we'll place them instead of, you know, trying to find hotel rooms for everybody.
That makes sense.
You know, we have shelter workers that will be there to staff that, you know, 24 hours until we can find a solution for them to kind of get back.
Of course, we do a lot of, you know, hurricane. We're in Florida, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are always heavily involved
Yes.
when hurricanes affect an area, when they're coming and when they're
Right.
gone. You know, it's funny that people always make that thing. Well, I don't want to go to the shelter and be a hassle. Well, if you live in a structure that's going to fall apart,
Yeah.
better you're in a structure and in a structure you can survive in and alive.
Correct.
When you do those, do you send in like mental health workers?
We do.
Do you send in doctors? I mean, are you providing stuff because, you know, you can go from living on your own, living with a group of people is far
Totally
more
different.
unhealthy.
Yeah.
You don't know what their hygiene, what their health is like,
Right.
you know, what they may be spreading. So what is the difference in the response and the team between helping a community where you had to open a shelter and helping an individual where you just had to help them over a rough spot?
Sure. I mean, depending on how large the scale of the incident is, we have, you know, resources, whether it be from different counties. I mean, Orange County, we have folks that are there that we can deploy in to help man those shelters so we're not burning out all of our folks. And, you know, obviously safety's key, right? We want to make sure all our folks are taken care of as well. So we will, you know, if a storm's getting ready to roll through, we'll have folks coming in from, you know, out of state to stay here, you know, where they're not going to be impacted by weather. So we can provide all the assistance that we really need to. So, but in the shelter, we'll have nurses, you know, that are there.
Do you ever get security questions in a shelter? Because you never know. If you go to a shelter, you're not picking your neighbors, right? It's for anybody. You don't turn people away. You know, you're not doing background checks before they come in.
I've never had any, you know, issues at any of the shelters for the 5 years that we've been doing this.
So you gave us a great idea of what you do there, and of course you've been doing it for a little while. So because you're on the board, you're chair of the board. Of course, some people say that those of us that are on boards, you know, we were just the suckers that said yes. But I don't believe that. I think there's important work to be done on boards, and I've served on several of them myself in the years I've been a realtor and things like that. Tell us a little bit about how you got to that. How did you make this? Is it because you were a fireman as you made the shift into Red Cross? Or?
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. I was kind of missing that, I guess, the action of being out on the front line, being able to, you know, help folks out. You know, I was very passionate about firefighting when I was there as a volunteer. Left that kind of when we relocated to Florida. There's not a lot of volunteer opportunities for firefighting here. So, you know, I just saw that as an opening. I think I saw a commercial on, you know, volunteering, and I just decided, let's do it, you know. And
now, I outlined too, you know, people could look at your Salt Lake Business Leader co-chair and you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce as you just promoting your business. I think one of the two things that's fascinating about you is that you are the chair of the board of directors for the Mid-Florida Red Cross and the disaster team coordinator. Give us an idea of what kind of time commitment that is.
Well, you know, on the chair, I mean, it's scheduled. It's, you know, I know what our meetings are going to be.
Right.
But you never know when a disaster is going to come through. I mean, you know, my phone could be going off as we speak. You know, I have somebody covering for me for a couple hours, but you really never know when something's going to come in. So knowing that I have the right teams in place throughout the counties that can respond, and we always have folks on call, so it's, you know, we're not really, you know, rambling trying to find somebody to go out. So we have a very committed team here in Mid-Florida that's really passionate about helping those folks.
The point I was trying to make is that you're a total volunteer. 99.9% of the people that work for the Red Cross, I mean, they have some paid staff in the administration,
We do.
but 99.9% of it is volunteer work.
That's correct.
And, you know, I mean, there were times my son was called out every night of the week. And, you know, you got travel time to it. Maybe it's a half hour. Maybe it's 2 hours at the fire, right? even if you have a week that you have nothing, you still have to dedicate time to organizing just in case there is.
That's right.
And I think people don't understand enough sometimes that, that volunteering is more than just giving back a couple hours. Right. It's being passionate about your community. Yeah. It's really sharing the love that you have been blessed, the blessings that we have been blessed with, as Americans. I tell people, I was actually at a coffee bar the other day refilling my coffee, and somebody said to me something about how awful it is. And I looked at him and I said, well, it was about being mourning or something. I said, man, you are a man that lives in the United States of America and you are over 21. How many more advantages do you want? Yeah. Yeah. We live in a place we don't get snow. Yay! And I don't think people understand that you have to take that to the volunteer attitude, that you don't do this because you get a lot of it. I mean, this is probably the most attention you've gotten, and you've been doing it for over 5 years. Yep. Right. And most volunteers don't get attention. Yeah. Heck, half the time you don't even get appreciation from the people you're helping. Yeah. And so I think it's important for people to understand that when they look at the volunteers, that you need help. Yeah. Right? I mean, you need people to weigh in, right?
Well, just like you said, your son was out, every night for a week. We don't want to burn out the local folks, right? I mean, we all have families, we all have other commitments that we have to take care of. The more volunteers we can have, the more resources that we can get out onto the streets. And if waking up for a house fire at 2 a.m. is not your cup, we have so many different opportunities to where you can partake in client casework, calling clients the day after, following up. How are you doing? I understand what you went through. We have services to the armed forces where we're able to get immediate communications to folks overseas. I mean, there's so many different avenues that we really, can get you involved if that's something that you're interested in doing.
And that's a great point to make, because so often we interview people here that are running organizations. Yeah. One of our early interviews was Otis from Give It A Foundation, right? Great guy, great idea, right? You don't have time to volunteer regularly, go to him. He'll find something when you have time. Maybe you can do it in your schedule. Or once a month, just call Otis up and say, hey, I got some time. Do you need a volunteer? I think it's important to understand that volunteering doesn't have to be a 20-hour-a-week job. That there are people like you that have the time and the passion, and it can be anything you can give. A half hour, an hour will help you. We have actually your Facebook page up here. Shifting back to the rapid response, shows here that you work with the American Red Cross. Tell us what's next for rapid response and the Red Cross. Well, what do you want to talk about?
I want to continue growing the business, really getting out, letting folks know what we do, how we're different from the other services that offer these, deliveries and packages, drop-offs, whatever it might be, getting the word out, how affordable we are, all the different things that we do. We also offer mobile notary services, which is huge when we're dealing with assisted living facilities, right? We offer this service free of charge at the local hospital. So if somebody's in a hospital, we go in and take care of that for them. They have enough to worry about. It's just another way we like to give back to the community. Joe, I just want to continue growing this, getting the word out, hopefully getting some staff on board to where we can really, expand and continue all the good we do.
Look, I want you to look into your camera here. Tell people if they have any questions about you, about the business. I'm sure you'll sit down for a cup of coffee with somebody if it warrants. But if they have any questions about the business, about the services, or even about the Red Cross, how do they get in touch?
You can reach me at 352-702-6637 or info@rapidresponsefl.com.
And what about if they have some questions about how they can help the Red Cross?
You can call me on that same line.
On that same line. Yep. All right, great.
Yep.
Great.
Absolutely.
Ryan, this has been great. And again, I love doing this because so often I get to discover so much more about the people I'm doing business with, the people I'm hanging out with, the people I'm making friends from. and you are in this crowd. I think Anthony Sabatini was probably my first slice of this. The guy, I had a whole pre-interview with him, and we were halfway through the interview before he talked about his service in the military.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you didn't lead with that?
Right.
I'm trying to find out what you did other than your elected official stuff. And he did, but I see this all the time. How long have I known you? A year?
At least a year. We ran into each other at a networking event.
We've actually talked and had coffee and, with other people. I never knew about the Red Cross stuff. Yep. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I really
thank
appreciate
you for
it.
all the work that you do.
Absolutely.
That's very vital to our community. And the Red Cross itself is, but, that disaster team stuff is just very, very important. And it's one of those things you don't realize how important it is until you know somebody whose life is touched by it. So
Absolutely.
I want to say that Ryan has been a great guest. If you know of somebody who should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, you need to reach out to me. Jay has the information up, I'm sure. Look, and if you are not branding your business on South... Look, Crawford, Monica, and Holt, very smart people, have come on to brand their business with South Lake TV because they know their customers, their clients, and the work that they do affects the community. They're branding with us. If you're not branding with us, you're missing the boat. That's my shameless plug. I want to say thanks for joining us. And as Ryan has done, I encourage you to use your greatness to bring out the greatness in others. I mean, how great is it to give some little part of your life so that you can help people that are really hurting? But you don't have to wait till somebody's hurting. Use your greatness to bring out the greatness in somebody else. Touch a life today. Send a card. Give a word of encouragement. Buy the coffee for the guy behind you in line. There's 1,000 things you can do. Touch a life, you may change the world. This has been Joe. We will actually be coming to you tomorrow from the Black Box Theater at the Claremont Performing Arts Center with our interview with Charlie Grinker. I'm really looking forward to that one. We will see you tomorrow. Don't miss it. This is a big happening in Claremont, and we will be broadcasting live on Facebook. Live on Facebook, we will be broadcasting the Claremont City State of the City address from Darren Gray, an update on all of the master plan and what's looking down in the future. Be here, be on Facebook for that, then come over and join us live on YouTube or southlake.tv. At any rate, all of that said, I will see you tomorrow, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: